Okay, this is divorce log 14 or something. Um, Things are moving. Terry's finally talking to her attorney. She's finally going to agree to some sort of child custody arrangement, which will involve her seeing the kids for 5 or 6 hours a day on her week, and then I get a whole full week. It's kind of strange, but I understand it because she needs to work. She'll only have one overnight every 2 weeks, but it will be more time for myself. It will be nice. Hopefully the PPO gets dropped as well. And I'm having weird thoughts. I don't understand it. It's like right now, my brain is like no longer in I hate this person mode, and now it's in like I forgive this person and I want to be friends mode. It's like very weird. I don't understand it. I know this woman hates me, even though for 16 years I took care of her and I did everything in my power to try and make her happy all the time, and that was always my goal. And my fear was always that one time when I had a problem, because I was always fixing problems for her so many times, I was so worried that one time when I would have a problem, that I would be abandoned, and that's basically what happened, because this is how it worked out. I talked to the psychiatrist on Saturday. He determined I am in fact not bipolar, and I should not have been on those medicines. I have general and social anxiety, and he put me on Zoloft. The fact that I was on like Seroquel and then on Latuda, which they really mess up your brain, man. I was a zombie. I was always miserable. I was just struggling for the year. I was always calling out for help, saying things aren't right. But that's what I'm talking about. I didn't have an alcohol addiction. I didn't have a drug addiction. I didn't have a gambling problem. But the one time in the marriage when I was seriously struggling and having a huge issue, that medicine caused me to lose all my sex drive. It caused me to be a complete zombie. It caused me to have no interest in anything. So I wasn't putting any effort into the relationship. I wasn't putting effort in most things. I was trying to just keep things running, and it was just exhausting me to the point where I had no interest in anything. And that's where she failed me. She left me because I was misdiagnosed with bipolar, on bipolar medicines that were fucking me up. I was crawling out for help. She wasn't helping me. Instead, she just gave up on me. And like, I don't even feel like she would even care or even think about it or even listen at this point, because she doesn't forgive. She holds everything inside and keeps bringing it up all the time. We could never talk, we could never have discussions. It would always bring up old crap from years ago, stuff that it wasn't even fair to bring up, because it was like such a blur. There's so many things you do in a day, that one stupid thing that happened that wasn't mentioned at that point in time when it was happening. How can I defend myself against something like that? If you're not going to speak up at the time when it's a problem, the person's not going to know and not going to be able to improve on it or fix it or address it or any of that stuff. She holds everything. Back when I caught her cheating back in 2009 or something, and I just couldn't handle it, and I just disappeared from her birthday celebration. She was saying how it caused her PTSD and all this crap, and I'm like, what do you think I was feeling? You had already left me in a relationship, and I was miserable and unhappy, and I couldn't sit there and celebrate your birthday knowing full well that you were cheating on me, so I left. I could have made a huge scene and made your birthday horrible and miserable and made everyone else aware of what was going on, or I could just do what I did and just disappear into the shadows and not cause a scene and not. But I experienced more PTSD from that than she did. It was always bugging me, and I was always suppressing it, and it was always frustrating me. And seriously, there's been so many things I helped her with, so many things I helped her family with, so many problems that would come up constantly that I would swoop in and I would save the day and I would fix things all the time, and I was forgiving and I was understanding and I did all this stuff. And that one time, and I even said this to her, that I felt like I was going to be abandoned as soon as I failed. If I failed something, if I lost my job, if I had a drug problem, if I had a drinking problem, that I would be abandoned. And she proved me right, because I was struggling. She kept telling me that, oh, the medicine's making a big difference. Oh, this is working out great. Everything's good. Keep at it. But it wasn't. I was so tired and miserable, and I lost all my sex drive. I lost all my will to just do anything. I was barely playing any of the games I used to play. I was not doing any of the projects. Everything I had to do, it was like I had to force myself to just get it done, when I knew it was like, if I don't get this done, there's going to be consequences. But I would have rather just not done anything at all. Like, that is not at all in any way, shape, or form a fit to my personality. I've never been like that. And it had been getting worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. My cholesterol and my heart rate were all messed up. Everything about me and my body and my brain and my vitals were all messed up because of this medication I was on, because I wasn't bipolar. And you don't take serious stuff like that unless you need it. And I didn't need it. And it screwed me up. And rather than help me, rather than talk to me, she talked to everyone else and said all the things that she wasn't getting from me, and made me look like this bad guy when I was in need of help, and I was in my low point. I was in my time of needing support, and she abandoned me. All this intimacy she kept telling my mother that she wanted. If she had put a little effort into helping me and sorting and talking to me and figuring out what my problems were, we could have gotten through this and discovered that I shouldn't have been on that medication and I should have been on something else. But the problem is it was a codependent relationship, and I was the giver, and I was always giving and giving and giving and giving. And she was always taking, and that's why she didn't do it. That's why she didn't give me any help, because she was so used to taking constantly. We could have stayed together. We could have been happier. Things could have improved. But seriously, in my time of need, when I was in failure mode for the first time ever, having a problem, a serious problem with me, not some external thing, but me experience problems and having issues very similar to drug addictions or alcohol problem or gambling problem, where I was having a problem myself that I needed help with. She didn't help me. Instead, she held it against me and used it against me and abandoned me. It sucks.